guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to bookmas day 10. Today I'm going to be showing you my 2025 reading journal. Obviously we are still in 2025. I still have some updates to do towards the end, but it is mostly completed, and I just wanted to show you all the spreads that I did this year and what worked, what didn't. So let's just get started. This journal is from Dingbats Notebooks. I will link it down below, as well as a discount code. So my first is just my title page. I should have mentioned 2025 was the first year that I did a reading journal. I've always wanted to do one, but I've just never been able to stick to it. And this was the year that I was like, okay, I'm gonna set up a journal and just do it. So this is my first title page. It's obviously not the best, but like I said, first time doing it. So this is my title page. Then we move on to my goals page. I really like including goals just because at the end of the year you can see what your goals were at the beginning of the year and if you actually reach them. And I just did like a little envelope piece of paper. I think she's cute. This is my books read each month. As you can see, December's missing, but you can see my reading throughout the months. Very different. For this year's journal, I did a very like doodly theme, lots of drawings, designs that I made. So a lot of drawing I realized was not my favorite, just because sometimes I didn't have time to sit down and draw. So for my 2026 journal, I did more of a scrapbooky theme, which I'm enjoying a lot more. This is my reading log. I just did like a basic reading log, book, month that I read it, and rating. I love this setup. This is the same setup that I'm doing in my 2026 reading journal. It just looks a lot cuter, but same stuff. This is what helps me keep track of everything. This is what I go to the most when I'm working on spreads and stuff. Okay, here's my bookshelf. I love this one. So my 2026 bookshelf is a lot different, and I think I like this one a lot better, but I can't wait to see the other one complete. I still have a little bit more books to fill up. I did a little cart and it has my key for the books. I had 2 colors for physicals just because I thought that was what I was going to read the most, but as you can see, there's a lot of blue. Here is my 25 and 2025 25 books that I wanted to read this year. As you can tell, I did not complete it. I still plan on reading some of the books on here, but I don't think I'm gonna complete it. I did have 2 empty spots for books that I could think of later on, but I never filled it in. But yeah, I really like this concept. I'm gonna do it again for next year, but it's gonna look different. It's not gonna be like these books. Okay, this is another spread that I'm gonna be bringing with me into the new year. Basically, keeping track of all the books I bought, which is crazy to see all in one place. But yeah, definitely will be tracking this in the next year as well. This is my faves of the year, which is a spot for each month. So 12 spots, 1 for each month. Obviously I still need December, so at the end of the month I would pick my favorite book of that month, even if it wasn't a 5-star read. I don't think this one was a 5-star. I don't think this one was a 5-star, but that is like the book that I enjoyed the most that month. Also a spread that I'm bringing with me, kind of like a book bracket for faves of the year, but I don't like picking one single book, so I just pick one per month. Okay, this is my book club picks spread. This spread did not work out for me. This was for a Discord book club. We started it at the beginning of the year and we did 1 book, but if I was in a book club, I would do this spread again just so I can keep track of all the books of the year. If you're in a book club, I definitely recommend tracking your reads. Now this one, hear me out. At the beginning, I was really intending to fill this one out. I just never got to it because I got lazy to look through and find all the series that I was in the middle of, because it is a bunch and I just didn't have the energy. I'm going to be trying again next year and hopefully have it in my next journal. I think it would be very helpful to know all the series that I'm in, because like I said, it's a lot. So it didn't work this year, but I'm hoping it will next year. Okay, so this spread, I got the idea from a girly here on YouTube. I'm not exactly sure who it was. I saw it when I was setting up this journal at the beginning of the year, but it's just a calendar to track your reads and basically dates. As you can see, I started off strong, but then, I mean, this is what it looks like. It just opens up like this, which I really like. But like I said, I kind of stopped halfway, and then yeah, it didn't work out. But I do like this. I'm the type of person that likes to know how long it took me to read a book, what days I read it. So this is something that I'm gonna try to keep up with in 2026. Hopefully it will stick. Rereads page, just to track books I reread. It was not a lot. And then this was my rereads TBR. So any book that I wanted to read, I would write it down just so I would remember. If I did, I would just put it on the rereads. I don't know if I'm doing this again because I don't really reread books. I think if I do read it, I'll just put like reread on my reading log instead of a star rating. Okay, another spread that I'm bringing with me into the new year, Hall of Fame. This is where all my 5 stars go. If it was a 5-star, it's on this page. I just like to keep track of all the 5-star reads. I love this spread. Then I left some blank pages in case I wanted to do some more like challenges, but I didn't end up putting anything. So now we go into our monthly spreads. Doodling and drawing and coloring. Not the vibe for 2026, but I really enjoyed it at the beginning of the year, and then I started getting lazy. So not my favorite theme. This is my January TBR. So I would print all the book covers for all the books that I chose with my TBR jar, and I would put the prompt that came out with it. I really like that concept of keeping track of the TBR jar picks and the prompts. So I'm gonna keep doing this for every month, but I would just do like a title page and then my wrap up. I'm not gonna go into details for all the books, but I would put the rating and then some tropes because I like to keep track of tropes in case I want to gather books for a certain trope. I can go through and look. I really like the idea of keeping track of tropes, but I don't know if there's another way to do it. I know there's like a trope tracker where you color in a square every time you read, like for example, enemies to lovers, but that won't tell me what book it is. So this is the best way I can figure out for now. But yeah, I do like this setup. So I'm just gonna go through and show you my monthly spreads. So for each month, I would do a TBR, a wrap up, and I would do aesthetic spreads for maybe a favorite book or a book that I really enjoyed the aesthetic of. So for this month, it was Not in Love and Iron Flame. Not in Love, Iron Flame. I was supposed to add some quotes in here. Forgot. I'm obsessed with these were my first like aesthetic spreads. They're just really fun to sit down, put an audiobook, and yeah. Then we go on to February. Again, TBR, title page, wrap up, same concept, just I would do a different theme every month. For this month I did Deep End. I'm obsessed with this book. I also did Bag, Borrow, or Steal. Then my March page, March reads. April, I think this one was cute. I liked this one. April wrap up. May wrap up, and I just realized I put this book on here twice. I put it in April and then I put it in May. Wow. Okay, June. Got lazy, didn't do a June title spread. I did Problematic Summer Romance as my aesthetic spread. I just love the aesthetic of this book. June wrap up. My July page, I think this one was cute. July wrap up. August, again, I really like this. I'm not saying I'm not going to incorporate drawings in my 2026 journal, but I think mostly like scrapbooking, paper, washi tape, all of that. I did One Golden Summer, another book I'm obsessed with, 5 stars. my favorite book of the summer, if not all year. I did Love Arranged by Lauren Asher. This book had such cute aesthetic. I had to do it. Then my August wrap up. Okay, this is where I start having gaps because I've been kind of neglecting this journal towards the end of the year. I've been working on my 2026 reading journal, so there's stuff missing. I still need ratings, and you're gonna start seeing books with no tropes, but I have to come back and fill those in. But I just wanted to give you guys like an idea of my journal. This is my September page. No TBR. I'm telling you guys, I started getting lazy. September wrap up. October wrap up. I didn't have an October TBR because I did an end of year TBR instead, so I didn't have that for this month. But this was my biggest reading month. Look at all those books. Okay, I'm not gonna take credit for these. This is for Drawn Together by Juliana Smith, and this is Mate by Ali Hazelwood. These are both collages I found on Pinterest, so I do not take credit for these, but that is the aesthetics for these two. November wrap up. It's looking emptier, and this is where my December wrap up is gonna be. And if I have any December aesthetic books, I'm gonna put them here. But that is it. This is all I have left of my journal. This is what my journal looks like. Honestly, I loved doing this. I loved keeping my reading journal, tracking everything. Like I said, it's my first time doing it, so I'm super excited to just go all out with my 2026 journal. I'm almost done with it, so that video should be up probably in 2 days. If you like to keep up with journal stuff, definitely stay tuned for that video. I also have some journal with me videos where I've been working on my 2026 reading journal, so if you want to see some sneak peeks of that, you can go and watch that. But that is it for this video and my 2025 reading journal. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you got some ideas. I would love to see your journal spreads. If you want to tag me on Instagram, feel free to do so. But that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you back tomorrow for another Bookmas video.